global terrorism? Is terrorism is a threat?
My opinion about the fight against global terrorism? Is terrorism a threat? Terrorism is a threat. Yes. And should be fought.
Sir, do you write to sell?
Where are you? Where are you? I can't see you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're there.
Yeah.
Do I write to sell? Well, I'm certainly happy that I do sell, because I do write for a living. I have no other source of income.
Rushdie, Kiran was frank enough in saying, accepting that she has been a victim of racism.
Yeah.
What is your reaction?
I think,
Have you ever experienced racism because you've been living there?
yes, sure. Well, yes. Not recently, I have to say. But when I first was in England and at boarding school, I experienced quite a lot. Yes, from other boys. And it was very shocking. Because one of the things that, until you experience it, you don't think of yourself as the other. It doesn't occur to you that you're somebody else's other. And people have become visible often because people think they're Muslim or think they're Arab, or and even if they're neither Muslim nor Arab, that's an argument you can't have at the time. And I know. It hasn't happened to me personally, so I should say that, but I do know people who have had that trouble. Yes.
Are you
Yeah, PJ,
optimistic about
back there. How much are Indians racist in the UK or USA? Well, as we know, Indians can be extremely prejudiced about color. They can be quite prejudiced about matters of religion too, especially. And the human being is an imperfect organism, and none of us are exempt from the problems of being human beings. And prejudice and bigotry and narrow-mindedness and stupidity are our common heritage. And so of course there are Indians who are prejudiced and bigoted. And why should there not be? It would be a saintly country of 1 billion people that contained no prejudiced human being. And if anybody told me about such a country, I would refuse to believe that it existed. I don't go looking for it. Every so often you meet people who are prejudiced, and it's always a surprise and kind of a disappointment, whoever they are and whatever the color of their skin and whatever their background. But most people, in my experience. Yes, one more question at that. There we are. That.
I was surprised, maybe you can hear me if I can. I was surprised to hear you say that terrorism should be fought. Surely the lesson that Britain's learned in Northern Ireland is that if you fight, it gets worse. You have to talk and maybe survive.
Terrorism, well, this is, how long have you got, Well, I think if the opposite of fighting is surrender, that clearly seems to me to be a mistake. The reason that the British example, I think is quite right. That the way in which the IRA was defeated was because its own constituency, that's to say Northern Ireland Catholics, stopped wanting the fight. They stopped wishing to be defined by the activities of the IRA, the provisional IRA. And it's the fight, when I say it has to be fought, I don't necessarily mean with guns. But I do think that there is a struggle. In that case, there was a struggle which took a generation and more, which ended up with the community that the IRA claimed to represent no longer wishing to stomach the fight. And that brought the IRA to the peace table. And it seems to me that that is, in the end, the way in which you stop terrorist movements, by denying them their legitimacy amongst their own ostensible community. So by extension, it would be something that Muslim communities around the world would need to think about in terms of being represented by the likes of Al-Qaeda and Muqtada al-Sadr and whoever else. I'm not I think all of us perhaps would agree that the kind of fighting going on at the moment is counterproductive. So leave it there. Please reply to this letter, because I want to be a writer myself when I grow up, or alternatively a world leader. And I said, write back fast, I thought, because she's going to be president. So this, that's without any question the most fun I ever had after a book came out was that.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to draw this session to a close. I think that we would go on all day if we didn't actually draw it to a close. It's been a fantastic session, and I thank you all for being here and for putting these great questions which have brought so much into the arena from Salman.